Hi, and welcome to C.I.G.S. Today we're going to be looking over two games, iZombie and It's a Wipe. iZombie is a casual little puzzler, the premise being that you are the head zombie, this cute bulgy-eyed bastard right here, amongst the usual brainless. It's a short game that could have just as easily been released for Androids or iPhones, and at $2 I'm expecting 2 hours tops to finish this game 100%, and that is exactly what I got. There's really nothing to make this game stand out. You run away from soldiers with guns and infect unarmed civilians, and then swarm said armed soldiers with your newly found brain-munching friends. This is carried out by three simple commands: stop, follow, and attack, which do exactly what you'd expect. You just run around from cover to cover, having your horde follow your steps or attack the nearest target. Again, very, very plain, just a quick time waster, with the exception of one level that is set up in such a way that you cannot move from your location, and one zombie has to take out a couple of guards from your well-timed stop, follow, attack commands. This was really the gem of the game, and unfortunately there was only one level of it. If there had been a lot more of these in a more complex fashion, I probably would have rated the game higher. So to wrap up, it's $2. You're getting maybe 2 hours of gameplay out of it. It was cute. There was cute art. It was cute music. It was short little time waster that I had some fun with. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5. Great idea that I felt they really could have capitalized on and they just didn't. So fun, but nothing awe-inspiring. The next game that we're going to be looking at is called It's a Wipe. It is a MMO guild management simulation / strategy game. You have to manage a guild of up to 10 players, yourself included, with the ability to have a smattering of classes: warrior, rogue, wizard, mage, bard, druid, and cleric. And you have to lead these pack of nerds through raids to get equipment while getting gold for them and the guild, keeping their morale up, which sits on a scale of 0 to 100, because, it's a management game. When you raid, it's turn-based, so you give orders, a combat round goes, you give orders, combat round goes, and so on and so forth. You're not actually making them do exactly what you want. You're just kind of, hey, do this broad thing, and then hopefully they're going to do it. That's just how management games work. I'm going to level with you on this game. I am a really big fan of management / simulation games. I've played them since I was a kid, and I loved them. I love Dungeon Keeper, Evil Genius, Banished. So this game looked like a treat for me. I was really excited to go into this and be like, man, another management game with MMOs? I'm a nerd. I love this. I was fucking wrong. No, I'm not going to go full rage and just say this was shit, even though I would love to. I'm going to give you the good and the bad. I'll start off with the good. The idea is awesome. All of the kooky antics of trying to manage a guild full of geeky people and the goofy random events that you're going to have to plan around and adapt around, it sounds great. And aesthetically, it's marvelous. It's like everything that they used for the art came straight from original D&D DM guides and monster manuals. So it was amazing. It's the tits. I really loved how they did that. And as we speak, it's being updated. The guys who made this are actually staying on top of it. I mean, day one, they're like, well, we have an update to deal with some issues, which, it's a really good thing that game makers do that. It makes us feel like they didn't just forget about it. They want to keep the experience good for players and not just to make a lot of money. That being said, I have no idea why they didn't just deal with the glaring issues before they released the game so that, I'd want to keep playing it and not have to wait for them to be like, oh yeah, that one thing that made it unplayable? Now we fixed it after you've already have huge complaints about it. So I'm just going to let you know, from this point on, I'm going to be a little bit ragey. I'm not going to just, be screaming into the mic, but I'm going to be angry, and justifiably so. I mean, I know a lot of you didn't come to watch me rage. You wanted a good review, so I'm going to review the game. But if you don't want to deal with the fact that I'm about to just lose my shit on this, feel free to skip to the end of the review and get an overall score and a wrap-up. Otherwise, just sit and watch this game get wrecked. Okay, so first off, the guys who made this have never actually played an MMORPG. I know that they know that MMORPGs exist, but there's no fucking way in hell that they've ever actually played one. Again, I'm a fucking nerd. I've played a lot of MMOs. I've played a lot of RPGs. I've done that kind of shit. And these guys, nothing. There's just no fucking way. I don't believe it. There's no EXP system. None. It's literally no way to level up your guys. So the only way that you can actually get them better is to get them equipment by completing raids, which would be fine, except you have to deal with their morale. Since there's no reason for you not to just get 10 guild members recruited straight away, and I mean that seriously, you don't have to give them money or anything special. You just go on the new guy, click recruit, and they're in your guild. That's it. you're going to have multiples of the same class who have to fight over the same equipment. And herein lies the issue with morale. The guy who gets the equipment gets anywhere between +2 to +5 to his morale when he gets something new. But the guy you skipped over, -7 to -10 every single time. Plus, morale will drop naturally, and the only way for people to get better morale is if you give them new equipment, gifts, or if you take the night off of raiding to talk to them. And did I mention that whenever you do that, everybody else in the guild automatically loses almost half the morale you just had that one person gain? So no matter what, you're losing morale. Always. And if morale gets too low, that guy will just leave the guild and take all of his loot with him. So you have to start fresh with a new guy that has full morale but zero equipment, which technically you could do to keep morale up. Because if you give someone an item that isn't as good as somebody else's item, that guy then loses no morale. He doesn't care if somebody else is getting an item that's worse than his. He's a dick. Why would he care? But since you're getting maybe 9 items for 7 possible classes, this would take you hours of grinding. Which, to be fair, this is supposed to be about MMO management, so, you know, MMOs are all about grinding, but if I'm going to spend all of my time grinding, why the fuck don't I just go play an MMO instead? Jesus, dick tits. Well, now that we're moving away from this morale fuck fest, oh fuck, god damn it, we slipped on poor design, and now we're right back into a completely different fuck fest. Great. This is a twofer, by the way, combining the game maker's complete disregard for how MMOs actually function and game mechanics that don't function at all. Whoopee! So you can only give one person one order per round of combat. Yeah, this is supposed to be a simulation of an MMORPG raid, the things that can have upwards of 25 people acting simultaneously, running around in circles, blinking, chewing gum, wanking it, all at the same time. One person gets to do one fucking action for that one round out of 10 people. It's like a fucking circle jerk where only one person can make a single masturbatory jerk upwards or downwards, while everybody else just sits there on their thumb, dick in hand, unable to move their eager and ready hands. Since I'm managing said circle, I'm just screaming, come on, just move your hands. You all know how to fucking fuck yourselves. Most of these players are supposed to be in their early teens to early 40s. They all know how to masturbate, for Christ's sake. Okay. So I could probably get past the fact that as a game function, that was a fucking stupid decision, but a decision that was made nonetheless. So let's move on to something that I can't condone, fucking regardless. There's something called tank switch, which if you've played an MMO, you're probably familiar with. It's where tank A stops eating all the damage and tags out with tank B so he can start eating all the damage, while tank A goes ahead and grabs himself a breather and a cookie. It's a fundamental MMO raid thing. It's literally one of the easiest things to understand and one of the most basic necessities if you're going to be raiding. You need it if you're going to win a fight. But in this game, it just doesn't function. Seriously, watch this whole clip. This is me tank switching 4 rounds in a row and 4 rounds of fucking nothing happening. Seriously, just fucking watch this. Watch this. This shows twofold just how much understanding of MMOs these game makers actually have. In this case, you can see that the basic function not functioning, and if you've noticed over here, this healer, yeah, right here, she got bored and decided to stop healing. No one who plays a healer class on an MMO suddenly decides, well, you know, fuck it, we'll do it live. Not fucking one. If someone pulled that shit in a guild where you were actually raiding, they'd fucking kick you for being a troll, which you can do in this game, by the way. It just doesn't make a difference. Every single person can randomly decide, fuck my role, because being random makes the game more difficult. Lol, game player have fun with no healers. Fuck. Adding random elements into a management game actually makes perfect sense. In this game, these already exist. For example, one of your character's burritos just got done, so he's going to be AFK for this round and do nothing. That makes perfect sense. Or your healer accidentally wandered into the front row, so now she's vulnerable to get attacked by the monsters. Better move her back. That makes sense. The issue here is you might have 3 people switch rows, and then 3 other people switch classes in the same round. So I, the circle jerk manager, have to have 6 rounds to get everybody back into their ready to go positions because we don't know how to masturbate For fuck's sake. Right. So in wrap up, It's a Wipe is an awesome idea of an MMO management simulation strategy game with a great style that falls horribly short because of poorly made game mechanics that just weren't thought through to the end. It's $5, and I suspect that if you could actually deal with all the shit, you'd get a lot of playtime out of it. Personally, a game that doesn't function, well, it kills the playability. So 2 out of 5. If you really want to play, I mean, go for it. It's $5, but just don't get your hopes that high. So that's all for this episode of C.I.G.S. I'm sorry for the rage. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope we'll see you next time.